Live and good evening. I'm your host, Noel Clubb, here on Club Tracks, and welcome to Spank Sports World Network on Zingo TV, channel 250. Please remember download Zingo TV app from the respective iOS and Android app stores, as the app is absolutely free. And while you download, please make sure to rate and leave a comment. Why? Because we want to hear from you, and especially you. And of course, Zingo TV is also available on Google, Chromecast, Amazon Fire, and Fire TV sticks. Roku sticks also available on all smart TVs from 2016 forward, everybody. So welcome to the show, and let's introduce, of course, our cool co-host of the show. And he is the lead singer and guitarist of New York City's classic rock band, New York, of course, The Handful. Please welcome Mr. Mark. Cool dude. Duda, welcome, man. How you doing?
Up, guys? Good. Just chilling out today. Like we were saying, it is like Groundhog Day, but my Groundhog Day hasn't been half bad. So I don't know that I want another 14 months of it, but hasn't been half bad, to be honest with you. So
right on. I'm sure you're also writing more songs for your next record after this one.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was nothing if not a fertile creative period, which is good, right? Could have been worse. See, could have been locked down with writer's block.
That would be the nightmare right there.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Exactly. So can't complain.
Yeah, right on. Wait, man, it's good to see you here. It's always a good time when I see Mark on this show. I know it's going to be good regardless of what happens. Technical difficulties, whatever happens, I know it's going to be good.
I got you, bro.
Right on, man. So let's introduce, of course, Angela and Darren D'Souza, who are here on the show here from Avalon Music Academy out of Brantford, Ontario. So welcome, Angela. Welcome, Darren. How are you two doing this evening?
We're doing well. Thank you for having us.
Doing good. Excellent. So guys, before we talk about your competition, let's basically talk about, or actually share with us about your music school, what you guys offer there and what you guys specialize in.
Well, we offer music lessons in almost all instruments for students of all ages and all abilities. Right now, considering that Ontario's just been put into another lockdown, we're offering lessons all online, mostly via Zoom. It's actually going really, really well, and we've even managed to get some new students from all over North America and a couple of international students, which is interesting. So it's been really productive for us in ways that I had never imagined. And it's just kind of interesting. It's very interesting. And the school is doing really, really well. And we're so grateful for that.
Yeah, very cool. Like I said, I'm so proud of you guys doing so well during this, this lockdown situation. Making really the best of it. And tell us about the competition you guys have been running.
Well, we started United in Song songwriter competition last
when we started in August, and then
that late. Anyway, last year when the first lockdown started, we thought it would be a good idea for kids especially and younger musicians to be able to use their creativity in maybe kind of a fun way. So we started this song competition called United in Song, where we want people to enter songs with a theme of unity and togetherness, something that seemed to be missing from the world and still seems to be a little bit missing. And we just thought that it would be a good idea for people to be able to do something fun and creative and maybe win some pretty cool prizes too. So you can win an opportunity to have your song professionally recorded, or you can win a cash prize, or you can win a writing session with Canadian writer and collaborator Danny Lamb. So you can win some pretty cool stuff.
No kidding. It's very cool. So when's your deadline again for your competition, guys?
April 30th. It's coming up.
Coming down the wire right now.
Yeah. And how can folks get a hold of you guys to enter in the competition still, now they still have more time?
The best way to do it is to find United in Song on Facebook. You can also email us at unitedinsong2020@gmail.com, or you can text us at 519-802-7317.
Very good. And of course, guys, we have the winner. We'll have you guys back on, but have you guys on again before all that anyway.
Yes, okay, sounds great.
We're just prolonging this so we can come on the show more there.
Yeah.
Well, that's the idea. Exactly. Exactly. Same with self-promotion is always good on this show, so don't.
No doubt. I'm all about
We
it.
do that all the time here.
Yeah.
Well, actually, before you guys go too, I can ask you, Darren, because I know you're a big double neck guitar fan.
Yes.
You have a couple of yourself right now in your collection of double neck guitars.
Yeah, we have a couple here. We want more, but you know we need money for that. But unfortunately, they're expensive. Yeah, I don't know why. I just I was a big Rush and Triumph fan, and Steve Howe and all that, and they all played those things.
Yeah.
And it's just they're just cool. Everyone asks me, why do you have double necks? Like, well, they look cool. That's it.
Well, they are. So they're super cool. Super cool. Yeah.
And functional. I'm left-handed. I don't often get a chance to play them because they're not usually lying around or anything like that. But I'd love to have one. Yeah.
You'd have to get one custom built there, Mark, I think. Yeah.
My wife just shot me a look. She doesn't understand why I need more than one guitar. You know, much less 3 of the same guitar from different years than, you know, other guitars, and it is what it is. You get it.
We totally understand that in this house, believe me.
Yeah. Okay. Very good.
Yeah. Well, my son, who's 15, he already owns about 15 guitars himself. So
he gets it. Wow. All right. He gets it.
Yeah.
Right on, man.
That's just a small, yeah.
Just a little glimpse into our world.
You can't look too far and not see a couple anyways.
They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Well, hey guys, thanks again. I'll see you guys again on the show real soon.
Okay.
And, okay.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much, guys.
And we'll see you guys real soon.
Be good. I'll see you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye. All right, on to our very special guest this evening. And of course, they're sitting right here, and I've been blind the entire time. What do you know? Anyway, I see you now. Very good. So, of course, you're here tonight here on the show. And these two sisters are Canadian alt-pop singing, songwriting dynamic duo, by the way. And they were named one of CBC's Searchlight's top teens to watch in 2020. Please welcome, and hopefully I'm not going to ruin your name here when I go announce you guys.
Give it a try.
Is it pronounced Caardia?
Caardia.
Thank you. See, that's my concern. I can say it wrong, and I did anyway. Well, welcome, gang. Welcome to the show. How you doing tonight?
Good. Thank you for having us. We're so excited to be here.
Yeah, right on. Thanks for coming on. So where are you guys from originally?
We're from Markham, Ontario. So it's like Toronto,
Yeah, so it's close to where all the gigs are. So it's very convenient.
Oh, yeah. We're always trekking downtown like every weekend. But yeah, Markham.
Very cool. Actually, I love Markham. I kind of escape there sometimes over there.
Yeah, it's awesome there.
Yeah, it's secluded, not much going on, so it's nice.
Yeah, right on. And who are your earliest musical influences growing up in Markham, Ontario?
You want to take this one?
Well, even though we grew up in Markham, there hasn't really been such a big music scene, but when we were younger, we were super exposed to David Bowie and the Beatles and even the Police. Just so much like older, I'm not gonna say older music because it's like what we grew up with, and I feel like it's our music.
Yeah.
But those have always just been our biggest inspirations, and
everything our parents would listen to, we kind of listen to.
Yeah.
So
we are our parents' music taste.
Oh, good to hear. Good to hear. Because I love those bands, Police, like you mentioned there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's some great bands that I grew up on too that I still play a lot.
Yeah, and it's just so crazy to see like their music from now, like the evolution of all of it, and just how unique it was.
And now we're just taking all their old records and we're starting our own record collection. So we have all of my dad's old records. Yeah.
You'll never be finished if you start collecting records. I'm telling you right now, it's an addiction.
We dug our own hole.
It's not a problem.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, there are far worse addictions than buying records. So
for sure. Let's think about buying records. As all of us can agree on that point, is like you put a vinyl record on, on your stereo in front of you, wherever in your room. It just sounds the band's right there live, in front of you. The sound is just so sharp, it's just so authentic and so, I hate to use the word, but real. But it's just so authentic, and it's just boom, it's in your face, and you hear all the details. Unlike CDs, you kind of lose some of the details, and albums,
100%.
you think of all the details, and you hear all the details over and over again.
It's crazy for us because we grew up with iPods, CDs, iPhones. So especially when we first got our hands on a record, it was just a surreal experience.
It would be,
So with the speaker because we didn't grow up with that.
And I feel like also with the record, you're kind of, when you're on your phone, you can just press a button and then play a song, but you're actually committing to like the whole album.
Yes.
Listening to it, sitting down and actually like absorbing it.
The ritual of it. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's killer.
That's a great point too, because I mean, we kind of lack that, I find, today in like a lot of artists and bands. Like, we actually put a record on start to finish. Like, oh yeah, that's a record. Like that's really, it's not just about singles. Like, of course, good singles make a good record, but overall, it's like a bit of a storytelling to it all, or it kind of fits together quite nicely together as a story, musically speaking. It's not just by content. But yeah, like I said, I just love the whole experience. So very cool to hear that. It makes me smile when I hear that from your generation.
Yeah, we've been trying to get other people into it as well because it's just a completely different experience, and we're like obviously absolute music junkies. So
any record store will just have to spend an hour or two in.
Oh, it's so fun. Yeah, absolutely.
Lost. Oh yeah, definitely. Well, it's actually a cool story here in Toronto. I'm sure you've been to yourselves downtown Toronto. Sonic Boom.
Yes, we before the lockdown, our studio is just like 10-15 minutes away. So
Nice.
We will go down there and just like spend all of our money. It wasn't an unhealthy addiction. I think you might be wrong there.
We've been to like Cops. We kind of just like do all the record stores in one day. We these like little mom and pop shops of these people who have like they're 70 years old and they've been collecting records forever, and it's just you find like hidden gems. So it's really cool.
Celia found an original Fleetwood Mac record there, which was so insane.
Yeah. Oh, so true. They have a good collection over that store. They really do. Well, there was a time, and we walk out, like it was a time, not now, but I mean, 15, 18 years ago, you're on Yonge Street and like kind of past, I'm trying to say here. So be like past Dundas, on Yonge Street. And you had Sound the Record Man right in one corner. Like 2 stores down, you had HMV, the big flagship store. And across the street, they had a Sunrise store across the street. And Sound the Record Man was a fantastic music store, one of the best I think I've ever seen in Canada. Very deep, like find really rare stuff, CD, vinyl. So it's a shame they're gone now because they're just a fantastic store to grow up on, being a music fan. Regardless of your age or your genre, your interest, like this, you'd find it. Whatever you're looking for, you'd find it. Sound the Record Man. So yeah, that was a great corner to shop. You could spend at least 4 hours between the 3 stores of shopping. Like, oh my God, they have that, really? So there's a lot of that kind of experience going on because they're just such a great depth. But yeah, it's just sad that they're all gone now.
This is what we're saying. We were born way too late because we just because now everything's like dominated by online shopping.
Yeah, that's true, eh? Yeah, very true.
Now, but going there is that whole other experience. I mean, I worked in a record store when I was a kid, and I pretty much worked there for the discount, and I would have worked there for free, if they would have let me take a couple things home, right? And there's something about it when I walk in one now, there's a way that it smells, the whole vibe, the leafing through and taking your time and not really knowing what you're looking for, and maybe the used section, so cool. But yeah, I hope that stays around a little longer. We'll see. All kinds of businesses are going to have to rebound from this. So
yeah.
Well, the share of the music industry, for record sales, they've been up for 18 years.
Yeah, as the vinyls come all the way back, right? Yeah. And now it's, you still have it's mostly downloads, but vinyl selling more than CDs. And that's really great for the artists, because I'm sure you guys are hearing some about the business side already, even though you're young, but we really don't make anything off of a download. It's wonderful that people bring your music into their lives and listen to it and choose to hit the button and download your song. But for an artist, you make a fraction of a cent if somebody downloads the one song they like the best off your album. But if they go out and they buy the vinyl or even the CD, you make a few bucks. So I always tell the fans that if you really like what you hear, if you downloaded it, go about it, buy the record. It's a good experience. Yeah. It's definitely going to have a broader spectrum sonically, right? Because everything that you listen to off of a CD, like we were talking about before, are squished down and compressed so that it can fit in an email, and people could send it all over the world. You're missing a lot of that spectrum, and even the headphones, they don't pick it up. There's nothing like listening to something on vinyl, especially the kind of music you guys say you're influenced by. I mean, that stuff was recorded with the intention of being heard on vinyl. So in order to even re-release it digitally, they have to remaster it and alter the sound of the record, right? And we notice that. We listen to Dark Side of the Moon, and then you listen to Dark Side of the Moon remastered from 2020 or whatever, you know, not the same, man. So rant over.
I remember there's this one record. It's actually more modern. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Strokes, but they're like,
yeah, totally.
Yeah,
they're from New York. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
New
we
York
got
fans.
their new Abnormal record, and then we went to play it in the record player. We were like, this is a completely different song. There's so many different notes. I hear like the bass is different.
The richness, definitely the bass. Yeah.
Yeah. No, good points. Good points there. No, very true. Very true, guys.
It'd be cool for you guys to get some stuff out on vinyl, you know?
That's right. Work on it. Get on it.
Honestly,
we're working. That's gonna happen.
You know, you can put together even like a pre-sale for like, you know, 100 copies of something, make them a cool color or whatever, and sell them for $35 a piece. People will buy them, you know, just to, you know, buy the right amount, do pre-orders. You guys can make it happen if you want it.
Celia, we're making
it's already, the gears are
yeah, the wheels are turning right now.
That's all right. If you have any trouble, just get, I'll hook you up. I'll take you through.
We'll be contacting
No problem.
Yeah, Mark will set you up. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's all good.
Contact.
Yeah, right on. Well, let's ask you guys about your track, your latest single, Over You. And of course, you know, it's actually, I like the spin you guys took on it, where you're kind of going from the low to like, you know, now we're getting through this tough point in our life. You know, like I always love that kind of, you know, twist on things. Looks this way, but it's really that way. So I really love that a lot. So can you tell us about of course, the writing of that song, the inspiration about writing the song, and of course, recording the process of that song?
Of course. So this song started off as, because during this whole time before Over You, I was going through an insane writer's block. Because usually I write most of my songs on my ukulele, I couldn't even pick it up. I was just not in the right headspace. But then Celia came to me with just her overall problems, because you know your best inspiration are the people that complain to you the most, Celia. So she was just complaining about to me. She's like, I don't know about this guy, because
you know,
of course classic
teenager experience.
Exactly. So then I was sleeping, and then the melody of the chorus just came to me. So I woke up at 3 a.m. in the morning, picked up my ukulele, and wrote the song in 15 minutes.
I don't
Which
know.
is
really?
Yeah, it was a really weird experience, but it was really cool. So this song is basically about not mostly getting over somebody, but just accepting your feelings. We almost like to think of it as a stepping stone when it comes to getting over somebody in a relationship. So that's what I try to let the lyrics of the song portray.
Yeah,
that's good. I like it.
And I think
twist on things there. Very good.
Really just like helpful in just really our healing process and for other people, because we like to make our songs like very easy to be interpreted by others and connect with others. So we kind of wanted to just be that for other people, and it kind of helped us through our own stuff as well. So
for sure. I mean, some people can actually relate to that, right? So
exactly. One thing that we strive for in our music is to make everything very relatable, because we don't want someone to just be like, oh yeah, this song is good. We want them to have that deeper connection, because you feel closer to the artist as well.
It's absolutely true. Yeah,
exactly. Well, over to Mark for a question here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you guys, I thought the material was terrific. I want to ask you about some individual songs. I think it's great, just as a comment, that you guys are writing so young. You know, I didn't write a lot when I was young, but one thing that's true about it is when you're in your teen years, in your early 20s, you'll never have more intense emotions, good and bad. And it's not that life isn't fun when you get over 40, but nothing's as intense anymore in either direction, you know. And I really think that if you could draw from the inspiration you have now, I think people will relate to that. So before I listen to the new stuff, I'm one of those guys that I start in chronological order. I just kind of want to hear where you were and where you're at now. So I think the first thing I heard was No Breakdowns. Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
And that's from, it's on your Deeper End EP, but this was released first. Is that how that works? This has a date of 2017 on iTunes. So what's the chronology there?
Yeah, so we released No Breakdowns as our first song ever. It was kind of as its own single, kind of an anti-bullying song that we did, because we went through a lot because of our music, especially in middle school. It was a tough time.
Right. For a lot of creative people, that's true.
Yeah.
Better way to stick it back to everybody than writing a song about it and everybody enjoying.
So we wrote No Breakdowns, and then we started working on the EP, and then we kind of just put it in there. So that was right after. And then we released the single of Walking Away, and then Over You, which is what we just did. So it was
okay. Well, listen, and it's a lot in a short amount of time. I mean,
Yeah,
you guys, because of the age you are, like you look so different in the pictures from 2017, right? Because 4 years means a lot at your age, you know? And it's just amazing to me that you start the song with the lyric, I think I wrote it down here, sticks and stones through the windows, but they're unbroken, I left them open. That's a terrific line. That's a very mature line. And I was going to ask you what the song was about, but now you've said it's about bullying. So, okay. And I notice you guys do write a lot of relationship songs, right? So which is fine. I mean, those are great songs that people hear themselves in. Soap, is that off of Deeper End too?
Yeah, so it was No Breakdowns, and it was Soap, and then it was also Way Home and Deep End. And the song Deep End was actually about like the dependency on cell phones. So we really tried to make this
right on,
because it was kind of like our first ever EP. So we were still kind of trying to navigate what we wanted. So we just talked a lot about like issues that were going on at the time, and then we kind of transitioned since then. But that was kind of our starting block, was just talking about things that we were really passionate about, and we wanted to communicate through music.
Because at the same time, when you are younger, you don't have, because we write off solely on experience and what happens in our everyday lives. But when you're younger and you're in grade 6 or grade 7, when these are coming out, you don't have that much because you're still so young. So at the time, we focused a lot of our songwriting more on what we wanted to speak about and what we wanted to be advocates for. So that's where Deep End and No Breakdowns came in.
Okay, that's cool. And the EP is, it's musically diverse, right? You'll have like a reggae vibe on one tune. You have kind of an alt rock vibe. Soap, you have sort of this this urban sounding thing in the verse. And you're using loops in there. So you guys are interesting because you're not afraid of things like loops, right? But the influences you mentioned are all organic bands. Really, like the Police they wouldn't have done that. So where do you guys have some more modern influences? Because I think I hear them musically, but I'm interested in what maybe some of your more modern influences are.
Modern, definitely now, because our music taste is always shifting, but now it's definitely going to be leaning more towards rock, which we incorporate with kind of like our alt pop. So it's going to be like the Killers, Cage the Elephant, maybe.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like again, the Strokes, like you said, Foo Fighters, even.
Neighborhood, we love the Foo Fighters.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, very cool.
That kind of era of like writing the Deep End, we listen to like kind of some Billie Eilish, like we listen to a bunch of things. Just
Love Billy Idol. Yeah.
And so we were kind of just like, we were experimenting with every different genre in that EP just to see like what we liked and what we sounded good in, and then we've kind of now transformed this more alternative sound that's going to be like really prominent in our new EP. So,
okay, cool.
I really do like to think of the Deep End as that, like the EP that really helped us find our voices, because that whole thing, because if you hear it, it's very experimental when it comes to the different types of genres that's incorporated with it. So it's nice to look back on and just like see where we were then to who we are now.
Right, you're showing your diversity and you're finding more of your own unique voice now. That's terrific, And there are some, like I listen to St. Vincent and Die Mannequin, and there are some terrific, very powerful female-fronted bands. So do you think that's important to represent females in strong roles in fronting bands?
100%.
Absolutely.
I think, I know we mentioned H.E.R, and they're like an all-female like sister band, and
so cool.
Just the way like they put themselves on stage and kind of their rock vibe, and they're not afraid to just really let their emotions go, and they've kind of been ridiculed.
And they love each other, so I mean that's that's part of it,
And they really just like go full force with like the rock vibe, or just Joan Jett. Like it's just really great to see these really powerful women, just doing what they love.
Yeah, it's killer.
The pathway for other women artists,
and just changing the game, because we know that, like especially with our age already, because we are the youth in music, it's already going to be difficult that we're girls as well. And I'm not saying that it's impossible, but again, people are always lean more towards male dominated bands, so it is great that we could be that representation for many other people as well.
Yeah, it's gutsy to put yourselves out there, and I think that's great. You guys have a lot of talent. Now you mentioned being related, and that's a thing when people listen to like the Bee Gees sing together, or, people who are brothers or family bands. There tends to be a really symbiotic blending of voices and harmonies and things like that. Have you guys always sung together?
Oh, like always. We've never kind of done it on our own. And I think with us, it's just like, we almost have this telepathy. Like I kind of say this all the time, but I feel like also because our voices are so different, even when we talk, when we sing, but I feel like for some reason it works. And we love to harmonize. We love to just experiment with things, and whatever, like we're not afraid to tell each other what we think about a song we're writing. And it just makes the collaboration process so much easier. And I feel like when we perform, we just get each other and we get what's going on, and we're like in the zone, and we both kind of just mutually understand the situation. And I feel like it's just so easy.
And I also am going to say that risk taking is also a lot easier as well. Because if we're, for example, writing a song and I just think there's like a really risky or like out of the box part that I want, Celia would be straight up with me and either like be like, oh, this is horrible, don't do it, or just like take the plunge with me and just be like, screw it. If people like it, they like it. And if they don't,
and we're in this together too. Like we're not alone. So if we have each other, it kind of helps, because just I always have someone with me.
But at the same time, if I mess up on stage, I could just blame her for it and no one will bat an eyelash.
Yeah. Well, everything takes progressively more courage, right, as you go along, just to stand on a stage, just to sing in front of people, then to write a song and be like, hey, this is my song. What do you guys think of it? And it takes progressively more courage. And you guys, the desire to be where you want to get, it just is a harder pull for you guys than the fear of it. And so that's awesome. So I think we always like to talk about the writing process, right? Noel, like kind of, if you could, I guess take us through how a typical song gets written with the two of you.
Because that is a bit of a difficult question, because every single song has a completely different way that it's been written. For example, one of the future songs that are coming up on the EP called Cherry Soda, which has we recorded before the lockdown. That song, I actually came up with the chorus while washing dishes. It was completely random, but then I just remember running up upstairs, playing it on the ukulele, and then it just coming together like that. And then Over You, like I said, came to me when I was sleeping. So every single time, it always starts off with a melody or lyrics in my mind, but every time it's just in the most random place ever.
And I think like it's just different every time. Like I know for me, like I'll have a lyric just randomly pop up in my head, and I'll write it down on my phone, and then I'll go try and write some chords. Or I'll go to Annie being like, hey, what do you think of this melody? And then she'll just come up with some chords on her ukulele, and then it will just go from there. But I think it usually starts with the chorus, I think, but then from that it's just kind of organic and just
okay. That's cool. I've never heard anyone say they wrote on a ukulele before. That's very cool. Much less a rocker. Very cool. It's a very George Harrison thing to do, Beatles thing to do. You can't go wrong there.
Beatles 68.
Yeah. You guys play any other instruments?
So I do like a little bit of like piano and keyboard. And
okay.
Yeah, it is a very unique instrument to write on, because we have started getting into instruments a lot later after we've been singing, but I did pick it up pretty easily, and it does make for some very interesting songs.
And like for new EP, it's like kind of alternative and almost like indie like alternative, but there will be a tiny like faint ukulele you can hear in the background. It's kind of hard to find, but like it's always there because it's just like a big ball.
Now I'm going to try and find it. So very cool.
It's very hard. It's there somewhere.
All right, right on.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, let me ask you guys about your radio show, because I understand you guys have a radio show as well. So how did it get started, and how's it going?
Yeah, so it started in January of 2020, but it kind of, the whole like Opera Geek Radio like exposure happened in 2019. So we were on another show actually being interviewed.
Oh yeah.
And then we went to perform because they have like a big fundraiser at the end of the year. And then we were approached by the person we were interviewed by being like, hey, you should maybe start your own show. And we were like, what? And then so after the fundraiser we did, the producer of the whole kind of radio station came up to us and was like, we'd love you to have your own show. So it kind of just, we saw the need because there was no shows by youth that were for other youth.
By youth, for youth.
Right.
Talked about the things that we really wanted to share, and talked about music, and talked about pop culture and important just issues going on in society. And so in January of 2020, it just kind of happened. Like we were kind of just approached, and we loved the idea of it. And I think it's really helped with our skills, like even just performing live and just singing, like having this and meeting also other artists and other youth that are making a change has just been really cool.
You can see you brought in like other bands, artists on the show as well, coming on the show. And
yeah, we interview like different art, like musical artists. We like, especially during COVID, have interviewed like small businesses. Like we really just try and get an array people on there. So,
and honestly, I will say this show has like helped us so much, especially during these lockdowns and quarantines, because we still get to meet so many people despite the fact that we're all at home. And it's been so great to meet all these people. Even now, like it's amazing to meet you guys and just talk to more people.
And now we're on the other side of the interview because we're so used to interviewing other people. So it's cool that this is again.
No, so true, so true. Well, even for Mark and I, because I started doing this stuff too myself during the lockdown, during the first lockdown. And
awesome. Yeah, we sit here on Sunday night and have a conversation we would ordinarily have, with somebody different every week. So it's cool, and it is cool for us because we're listening to something new every week that we might not otherwise hear. So that's, you guys know, as music fans, that's a cool opportunity as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And then again, hear your stuff as well as past week for Mark and I was again another very cool experience, just to again get someone else's perspective, get your insight, your influences, kind of opens kind of this big mesh, this big soup of beautiful music coming back at us. But yeah, it's really cool as always. It's just been really special for us coming on the show every week doing this. It's been very special. So yeah. I get it. Same for us.
We all got it.
Absolutely. Makes us this big world so small now that we're all on a Zoom call like this, It
is. Like, it's so exciting just to see how many people you can meet from Zoom and technology. It's so surreal, just the people that you can meet. It's
great.
Absolutely. Yeah, I have a bunch of close friends I met that way. So, there's a lot of advantages to it, if you use it the right way, in terms of getting your music out there and getting people to hear it, right? I mean, so other than I've seen you guys are on iTunes, you can pretty much find your music anywhere. How else do you stay in touch with your fans? Do you have a website? Do you have a Facebook page? You guys do Instagram?
We have Facebook, Instagram, we have a TikTok, which we started over quarantine.
Cool.
We do have a website and just pretty much all socials anywhere. So yeah.
Just search us up anywhere and we'll be there.
Now, are you guys self-managed or how does it work? Do you have a manager or an agent or how do you promote, who handles that side of things, the business?
Well, we do have Eric Alper, who is our publicist, and we don't have a manager. We do have our producer, Roy Hamilton III, and we're kind of signed to the singers company, but we don't have a manager. It's kind of just, we do our own thing. We really look to educate ourselves wherever we can. We'll go to seminars. We'll just speak to other people. We really just, I've gone to a bunch of social media classes and have really tried to kind of learn how to do the social media thing, but we do not have a manager. We kind of do it all ourselves, and it seemed to work out so far. So I think
that's great.
Would definitely be the next step.
Getting playlisted is huge because you get heard alongside other bands that may be better known, and all of a sudden you end up on a few playlists and you really get listeners that way. So I definitely think you guys would do well in that respect, whether it's iTunes or Spotify or whatever else. But right, somebody's got to pick up the phone, somebody's got to mail the press releases and do all that kind of stuff. Do you guys enjoy that? I'm one guy that'll tell you I don't enjoy it at all. I have other people handle it, and then I get mad and take some parts of it back and always wish I hadn't. Like the business side of it wrecks it for me. So how do you guys feel about that?
That's kind of like my forte. I'm like a business person. I'll look over our contract.
Okay.
I'll do the social media. I'll do the scheduling, the planning. I don't know. I kind of just enjoy it. It's kind of.
Even though Celia is related to me, I do not understand her whatsoever. She is very business oriented.
All right, let her do it.
I like law. I like business. I don't even know. But...
I just find we some contracts I've read, I'm like, hey, this is not right. These people want to take they want to have ownership of everything. It's been very difficult to kind of see what we should kind of go with and what not to. And so I've really learned what to look for.
Yeah.
And I've obviously gotten second opinions from people, but I feel like as I continue to like go through this and learn all the business side of things, I kind of just get a better perspective on it. So
yeah, absolutely. And you'll learn sort of the percentages that are generally fair and things like that. And it doesn't take long. I just joke about it because I really wish I didn't have to deal with that. But unless you're like Aerosmith, right, you have to handle some of that stuff yourself because you can't hire lawyers every time somebody puts a piece of paper in front of you. It just, you won't make any money, you know.
True enough.
So how long is this record that you're working on now? That'll be is it an EP? Did you say it? I forgot. Is it a full length? What?
It's an EP, so it's gonna be, I think, 5 or 6 songs, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 or 6 songs EP.
You know the songs yet, or you don't?
We have, I think, 4 of them already recorded.
Yeah.
So it's coming soon. But like, well, obviously, we're trying to find time to go in the studio when there's like no lockdown.
Yes.
Very irritating.
But that time that we're not in the studio, we're writing even more because
absolutely.
Because now, for some reason, this quarantine is not quarantine, but lockdown has been just a great time for writing. So
the creative juices are
flowing. Like a month I could
That's
be
great.
writing, 8 to 10 songs depending, and then just like picking out our favorites.
Wow.
Filing through those for what we're gonna put on the EP. So
and you guys do like little pre-production demos at home on like GarageBand or just even singing into the phone? Do you?
Kind of like just kind of not soundproof, but like transformed our office into like a little studio area, just
awesome.
Be good for the sound and kind of bounce off in the right places. And we have like the mics stuff that we record for the radio show anyway. So we're like, why not just use this?
Yeah, because you may find yourself going in and you want to put out a 6-song EP, but you got 20 songs and you don't have the money to record them all. So maybe you record 8 and pick the 6 that are the best, but it's always great to do pre-production work, even if it's at home, how about like, if we could play out now, do you like to crowd test new stuff and play it for people live before you record it? You guys do any of that?
We've done that before. Like we'll post, for example, like on our Instagram covers, or not covers, but like just like 1-minute clips of our original music and just see kind of the response we get on it.
Yeah,
really,
excellent.
We're just like, what do you guys think of this new song? Or we'll do some TikToks about it. And then if we kind of see the response is good, we're like, okay, maybe this could work.
We kind of use that as like a step before we.
But we don't tell them. We're just like, what are your thoughts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a band that you work with when you do play live? Like a set group of guys that you work with?
We don't. Like we used to have a guitarist, but kind of because of COVID, that kind of changed. But we have like specific people that we do kind of call. But we are really looking right now, especially to formulate a band. It's kind of hard to find people our age who.
That's true.
Really
yeah.
Dedicated and willing to do this for like a lot of time. So we're kind of looking for that right now, but we do have some really good people, especially Alex Matthew, who has been doing a lot of guitar on our EP. He's really good, kind of knows our material. So we're just kind of looking for a drummer, maybe a bassist. We're looking for that.
Yeah, all the basic
parts.
Right
here.
That's cool. Yeah, that'll be a perpetual issue because it's not always Spinal Tap where you have 600 drummers, but odds are the same people won't be on every record that you do. And it's nice to know somebody like Eric because he knows a lot of people, so you just kind of put the word out there, what you're looking for, see what comes back to you. But you guys have a good vibe for sure.
Yeah, sure do. Yeah, no debate there. You have plans for the next single at all? Is it too soon or any thoughts there?
So we don't know necessarily if we're going to release the single alone or just kind of part of the EP altogether, but everything is coming this year. Probably, I think the summer is when we're going to do the big release. So.
And it's going to be amazing. You guys are going to love it.
We're going to be So look out for the summer.
So this summer, right?
Yeah, you'll come back on and we'll do a little promo bit. We'll hype it up and
play your video and exactly.
Absolutely.
Hang out some more. Yeah. Well, I got to ask you guys too. Your name. So, what was the inspiration behind your name?
All right. So, because
long explanation.
Yes,
it does.
Oriented. So the name Caardia actually comes from the Greek word Caardia, which means heart. So adding in a bit of our Greek orientation there, and also Caardia stands for Celia, Annie, and our little sister Ariana.
Okay. There, we also like the band heart. We're like, yay,
nice.
Empowerment.
Are you going to let her in the band, or is she going to be like the Andy Gibb that has to do it by himself?
when we were younger, it was kind of all three of us. But I think she just kind of didn't really find it as interesting. So she's doing the fashion now. She's like likes to style it.
Okay.
And perform. She's like, wear this. And I'm like, okay. So yeah.
Did the arts run in your family?
Honestly, no.
You mentioned your parents listening. Are they just they're fans? They happen to listen to good music, but they don't play and write.
Music fans, but I know like my aunt's actually in Greece. She's a singer, and my grandparents just love to sing. My parents, they love music, but none of them are like actual artists. So.
It skipped a generation.
How accurate is My Big Fat Greek Wedding?
Very accurate.
Is it really
nice?
every single time we see the movie, especially with their mom, she's like, "I've done that. I've seen that." Like I'm watching.
And a lot of us similar, anyway. But
it's real. It's exaggerated. It is not.
Yeah. It's old school. That's awesome. I wanted to ask you that. So I was sitting here the whole time thinking that was just your last name, like it was Bon Jovi type of thing, So that's interesting.
Long Greek last name.
Okay, cool. Right on.
How do you pronounce your last name, by the way? How do you pronounce your last name? Siriopolis, right? Okay, I was trying earlier. Didn't want to say it out loud. It's like, okay, I think it's this.
I'm surprised you got on the first try. All my friends, whenever I introduce myself to them, they're like Siriopolis.
That takes a while.
Anopolis.
Yeah.
Noel, you want to do some like best of things here? Like, what are your 3 favorite albums you guys ever heard?
Oh, this is like together, combined, or like individual?
No, you guys got to do it alone.
Yeah,
at
alone
least each
good,
give me your first like 2 or 3.
Good call there.
Top of your head. You could ask me this question tomorrow. I'd probably answer it different. I get that,
I love Rumors, Fleetwood Mac. Love it.
Good call.
Yeah, great album.
The Strokes, New Abnormal. I've just been listening to that a lot recently.
Sweet.
Love that one. And we have like the Sound and Vision, like David Bowie kind of like box set. And so we just love everything from that.
Of course you do. That's terrific. And he's extremely diverse. So how about you?
Absolutely.
For me, okay, the number one, because I've been listening to this one for years and I can never get sick of it, is Social Cues by Cage the Elephant. That album, I don't know what gravitates me towards it, but I could never stop listening to that. And probably Hot Fuss by the Killers, because I love I love the crazy instrumental in a lot of their songs and just the meaning of them as well. And yeah, Sound and Vision, David Bowie.
Yeah, that's cool. You got some poppy and some heavier stuff in there, so I can definitely hear that. Right on.
Definitely. You hear the low there, David Bowie there.
Like, what is our music
taste? Honestly, it's all over the place. But like, I think that's just kind of like when we write music, like we're indie, alternative, like to a little bit of pop, but like we don't really like to stick in the genre. We kind of like when you hear our new EP, it doesn't really sound like anything else. If I should say that, I don't know, but I don't know. It's a
good thing.
We like experimenting with different sounds. So
now, how about singers? You guys are like, who are your top vocalists of all time?
Oh, so vocalist.
I don't even remember how I answered this when I was on the show, because again, I could be different one day to the next, but we get that. Like, we're the same way. So
our music taste is always evolving, and everybody's voices are so
Freddie
unique.
Mercury.
Well,
Freddie Mercury, right? I'm sure Stevie Nicks, right? I mean, obviously,
1000%.
you didn't like her voice, right? That wouldn't be it.
I'm so upset with myself because I don't know the name, but the lead singer of the Smiths has a very
Morrissey.
Yeah, Morrissey.
The dude could sing. He's kind of cranky at this age. That has nothing to do with his voice, though. He's a terrific singer.
Yeah, but he has a very like unique and distinctive voice.
Yeah,
like,
he does.
You don't hear it anywhere else, which I just think is cool. Crazy, and it makes the song so much better.
Right. That's like you guys want to make it so that a few notes into the song, everybody knows that it's you.
Yeah.
Regardless of what the other influences are.
Yeah, your signature.
Absolutely. Yeah. So those are interesting answers. Cool.
They are.
And of course, it'll change tomorrow on the next day.
Yeah, I know that.
It always does. Same here. Same with us. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always evolving, like you said. That was very true. Well, how'd you guys meet Eric Appler?
So I think it was 3 or 4 years ago. We were at like a showcase. I think it was for Marlo in the Mix. She's like has her own band, and we were at some sort of showcase that we were performing at. And I think his daughter was there because she does a lot of like social activism stuff too. So after the show, we just started talking, and we've just known each other ever since. He kind of told us what he did. We were like, oh, and he was like, you guys sound like Hein. And then that's how I remember.
The best compliment
She's like,
ever.
you guys remind me of Hein because of the sister thing. And then
Awesome.
ever since, he's always, helped us with our music and stuff. So yeah, we've known him for quite a few years.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, it's such a great guy. Eh? So well connected and
He's awesome.
great guy to work with. It's pretty amazing that way.
Awesome.
Amazing. So in terms of like this year again, so you're planning this July, the summer would be your next release, right?
Yeah.
That's correct. Do you have any plans next a while for like online performances besides your radio show? Or besides your radio show?
Especially because I feel like at the beginning of quarantine, online performances were really big, and I think they kind of died out like when 2021 started. But we did do kind of like a lot of Instagram lives and Facebook lives, and we also did a few other shows. So we did something called the Star Power Buy Local online concert series. So it was basically a bunch of bands would perform, and all the money would go to small businesses. We did another one. It was this thing called Youth Day, which is kind of, it happens every year in Toronto, and we were hosts for the virtual Youth Day this year. And we also did some Make Open Mic Instagram lives.
Main Street Unionville.
Yeah, so we usually perform.
Oh, Unionville. Oh, yeah.
Like we perform for 5 hours every weekend on Main Street Unionville. So we do the virtual shows this time around. Yeah.
Cool. Actually, that's a cool little town too, Unionville. Actually, I like going up there sometimes.
It's awesome there, and they always hire us every single summer, so we could. It's a really great place because even though the crowds are killer, they're awesome there every single time.
You just see all these new people,
I
just
know.
walking by.
Yeah.
You could also, and you like, it's a great place not to be afraid with like trying out new material.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Because you're in like a small park in a very old historical town, on that strip there, the Main Street Strip, and there's a cool little bandstand. I always remember they'd have bands and artists come on the bandstand, and
everyone's just
so quaint. It's so quaint, very small, and has a very kind of cool vibe about it. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. So what would be your favorite Police record for you guys? Because you're saying big Police fans, and I'm a big Police fan. Is there any record for you out of Police collection that's like stood out for you?
I like the Zenyatta Monada. Is that how you
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yes, I would say that one.
That's a great one. Yeah. Actually, I really love the Ghost Machine was my favorite. That's pretty. But
Zen my dad's record collection
cool.
in the basement. Any Police one we find, we just bring it upstairs and start playing it. So.
But the problem is because all of them are so old, they're always jumbled around. So like one Police record could be like a completely different one in another case.
Oh really? Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, because you ever heard like this Ghost Machine? That's a great record. Superb Police record, that one.
Synchronicity, of course. I mean, there's so much talent in that band. And as soon as somebody mentions the Police, like I think like Stuart Copeland, because to me he's so unique, even though Sting's like up here, but also Andy Summey. It's so much talent in one band.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And again, like you don't hear that stuff anywhere else. And that's not just the Police, but like just older music in general. You can't hear that anymore.
And they've got that reggae part of it, like you guys too.
Yeah, cool. Very true.
Right on.
Reggae thing going on. Yeah,
no doubt. Do you guys think about collaborating with other artists? Have you done any collaborations? Have you guys talked about it? Is there a desire to do that sort of thing?
Well, collaborations have always been a little difficult, especially because we do have a very distinct sound with us. So bringing someone in, it's not necessarily impossible, but it is something that will take a lot of time to do. And we never really had the opportunity either. Like this year was supposed to be the one where we were performing a lot more. We already had so many scheduled places to meet new people, and then lockdown hit. So
keep it in mind, it's a really good way to sort of cross-pollinate your fan bases, to appear on each other's record. There's a ton of support for fellow artists in like the hip hop community, and you see it all the time, the collaborations. You don't see it as much in rock, but it's just something to keep in mind. It's like playing at a festival with a bunch of different bands where their fans might get to see you, Well, so sometimes
I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. We actually we had our own like music festival called Youth Jam in Christmas. Right. There was like 2,500 people, and we did that with another band. So we haven't necessarily made a song with like other artists, but we have collaborated on projects. So
Mm-hmm.
it's us and Ariana Serrani of Blue Opaline. She's another kind of like Toronto local band.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so with her, we made this music festival where we had 15 to 17 like youth bands and performers come for like the whole day, and it was like from the morning until it got dark out in the sunset. So they kind of brought their fans, and we kind of brought ours, and it was just like a big youth event where there was like 15 different people who all brought their people, who brought other people. So
Yeah.
not necessarily like on music, but we have like done projects.
Yeah, in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always good to keep an open mind to it. And, you know, even working with somebody like Eric, you know, just to say it again, we've worked with him a lot, but he knows so many people. You know, I'm looking for this type of solo on my album. Do you have anybody that plays like that? And before you know it, there's the collaboration, and you know, it ends up being worthwhile. So just a thought there. Always pushing that envelope. I think the rock community's got to come together more. I think there's too much competition.
Yeah,
and
right
my
on.
stuff is great, and everybody else stuff stinks, and we don't come together and support each other the way that, for example, the hip hop community does. So
yeah, well, actually, you could catch like I was catching a great documentary. Of course, going back to the '60s, but it's been made recently. So the documentary's made about 3 years ago by Jacob Dylan, and it's called "Echoes in the Canyon," about Laurel Canyon, and they're talking about how that started, the whole scene. How you know, like you have, for example, you have Neil Young would go see a couple guys from the Monkees. They hang out and they'll get together randomly, listen to one of his music or the next record, next singles, just trading off, listening, sharing, you know, what you guys think of it all. So yeah, it was really cool. It was just very, and I totally agree that's, I see more of that. I see more of that for sure.
no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
Guys.
something that we have even experienced ourselves with, the absolute lack of support.
The competition.
It's crazy because
Well,
all we
it doesn't
want.
make sense.
I know.
Yeah,
That's another reason why we started the festival youth jam, because we just want everybody to collaborate and enjoy each other's music. The main reason that you make music is for everybody to enjoy. You're not the best artist.
Yeah.
And neither are we, neither is anybody.
It's all opinion.
It's subjective. That's it. You know, somebody likes Beethoven, somebody likes the Misfits, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't make them right, doesn't make them wrong.
To the music.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. Definitely let us know how you guys are doing and what you're doing. And
yeah. Keep in touch because when you guys release your next project this summer, let us know and we'll bring it back on again.
Awesome, definitely.
Yeah.
And if you need a drummer and guitarist, we're right here.
Yeah.
We're right here, eh? We definitely help you out there in the department, especially the rock department. We definitely help you. Okay, thanks, guys. Real pleasure as always. And we're out of time here, so I want to thank you two for coming on. Fantastic. It was a great conversation with you two. And is there a spot where people can check out more on you guys on social media?
Yeah, so our Instagram is Caardia Official, Caardia Official. Facebook at Caardia, website caardia.com, and you can follow us on TikTok too. But
Excellent. All right.
Audience for that one. Yeah, I hear you.
I feel I'm not going to set up a TikTok account. You know, I feel
Not me either. No,
wrong somehow. Like my daughter does that. You know,
Mark, I'd be like the creepy old guys on
that's it. Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah.
So stay clear if you can.
I'll stay clear. Don't worry. Well, hey, gang, real pleasure again. Real pleasure. And stay in touch, like I said before. And I would love to have you back on again on your next project. And we'll talk about that one as well, some more in great detail. Well, hey, thanks again. And thanks, Mark, of course. And guys,
My pleasure.
Real pleasure. All the best. And of course, Spanish Sports World Network and Zingo TV. You want to watch it, hear it, read it, download it, live it. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon. Take care. All the best.